Hello everyone, it's time for a commercial market update, and as always I'm excited to bring you an update on what's going on in the commercial markets. And my update is more of a general update on the average person level so that you can understand it and maybe even begin to invest into commercial real estate. So again, excited. We got a lot of things going on in the commercial markets. We've seen a lot in our business. We're beginning to see signs of slowdown because borrowing costs have increased significantly with this rising interest rate environment, causing some little shifts beginning to happen where we're seeing listings sit longer and fewer bidders coming to the table, if any bidders, on some of the properties. So we're definitely in a market that's getting ready to shift. How hard is it going to shift? That's the $64,000 question, because we're in an area where the job demand is just second to none. People are flocking here from all over the country into North Texas. We're the #1 in all kinds of metrics as far as commercial investment. So that's really what I want to go over this market update. It's first half of the year, just some staggering numbers we're seeing come in on the DFW Metroplex. So DFW commercial building starts soared 70% in the first half of 2022. That's new construction. And what is in new development, and what is really just mind-blowing is typically when the interest rate environment begins to affect the market, we see a slowdown in this. I think we will. I think we might see some moderation, but it hasn't happened yet. We do expect to see it towards the end of this year. Residential real estate's already seeing it. Commercial's a little longer lag because of the deal cycle and what it takes to get to the development stage. DFW was the top U.S. property investment market in the country, second to none, including New York City. And never thought, just even pre-COVID, never thought we would be competing with New York City and being on top of this country. You have capital investment firms coming from New York, Chicago, building headquarters here to be able to facilitate raising capital and the investment that is coming into the North Texas area. So it's happening. The pendulum has shifted, and it's not going to stop. People understand the value in raising your kids here in Texas, the tax environment, the just business-friendly environment. We're seeing headquarters after headquarters come into the North Texas and Texas area. So we're #1 in commercial investment. Total of $22.9 billion was invested into the North Texas real estate area for the first half. Again, that's up 50% year over year. And last year was a booming year as well. Up 50%. In the first half of 2022, investors snapped up more than $12 billion in apartments. So multifamily is booming. Why is multifamily booming? Because people are moving here. There was a net absorption of, how much was it here? Let me check my notes. Should have it here. 23,900 units were leased the first half of the year. And the DFW ranked 4th. Here's another one. The DFW ranked 4th nationally for office buildings. And while we have a glut of sublease space, 13 million the last read it was, Uber just recently announced they're going to be subleasing their space on 75. There's still a lot of construction, especially in the Metroplex, not so much the urban area, but even in the urban areas there are some new construction. But mostly in the suburbs, we're seeing more construction. Businesses want to be further out into the suburbs. That's kind of a post-COVID thing that's going on. We're seeing just more businesses move out versus being right in the middle of Dallas. So again, the only reason why we're building office space and fourth in the nation is because businesses are moving here. North Texas has recorded $4 billion in industrial building sales. Again, industrial and multifamily, we lead the country in. And we're a mecca for technology parks with logistics, data centers. Amazon has, I think, 10, 12 million square foot here. We're just a logistics mecca now here in North Texas. And DFW ranked fourth national. Okay, so third for construction starts in residential and commercial. So we're third in the nation for the both residential and commercial. More than 17,000 new apartments have been added to the North Texas market, and that is just mind-blowing. Think about 17,000 new apartments were added in the first half of the year. Let's just think of 1,000. It's 1,000 families, maybe small, maybe not, maybe single families, maybe some singles in there as well, but 17,000. Think of a subdivision. A typical subdivision has 300 homes in it, and how many people are in a subdivision, in a community of subdivision, if you live in it, to just kind of wrap your head around, just here in North Texas, 17,000 new apartments were added, and 23,900 were leased. It's just mind-blowing when you really, we can just throw these numbers out there of thousands of units. Well, every one of those units is a single person or a small family. It's just, and we have a 4% occupancy rate here in DFW. So that's very low for multifamily. And so that's why they're continuing to build units. And so they're adding, there's 56,000 under construction right now. And don't see any glut coming into the picture anytime soon. So we're in the right place, right time for what we're dealing with. And the reason, another reason, not just because of what people moving here, we're seeing multifamily investment. It's also because of the rent increases. So here's a little summary of what rent increase rates have been here through July, in July. So Frisco was up 12.76% to $2,046. Irving up 28% to $1,889. Plano flat. Interesting, Plano's flat, $1,845. Dallas up 16%, $1,804. Fort Worth up 9% to $1,296. And Arlington up 15% nearly to $1,174. So when you are increasing, your rates are year over year increasing 15 to 20%. Yeah, every investor in town wants to be a part of that. And that's why the capital and everything is coming to the DFW Metroplex. So to summarize this general market up first half of the year was amazing, record-breaking, #1 in the nation as far as commercial investment. We do expect, taking the consensus of the CBREs and their analysts, a slowdown going into the end of the year. Our firm, just on a micro level, we've seen probably 20% of our commercial contracts terminate, but because of the interest rate, it just affects the economics. So what's going to happen is the cap rate is going to have to come up, and or another way of saying prices need to come down in order for the market to be able to absorb these interest rates. And that's what we expect, a little bit of a slowdown, because the seller is going to be up here as far as expectations of a low cap rate, and the buyer is going to be looking for a higher cap rate to be able to service their debt and make a profit. So that's where we're at, and into the end of the year, we expect to see some opportunities come to the table, because somebody may be in a an ARM, adjustable rate mortgage, and their mortgages went too high, and they need to unload the property. Things like that, I think, are going to be coming to the table as we're not really seeing any good opportunities right now that I would say are, hey, this is an amazing deal, but we are beginning to see things sit, and it just takes a matter of time before the cap rate is going to adjust upwards for you, the investor, to be able to pick off maybe a few deals into the end of the year. But long term, we don't see this just a big correction to the DFW because of our job market and the demand that we have here. The pendulum has shifted. The place to be is North Texas, and Texas as a whole. Houston and Austin are the top 3 in the country, and thankful to be in this area with the real estate company. And please let us know if you have any questions or need any assistance with commercial investment. Also, we have a full-service firm with property management and residential services, bringing nothing but top-tier service at 5 stars is our rating, and that's our level and our expectations for our clients, and we'd love the opportunity to serve you. Reach out to us if you have any questions. Have a great day.